Hey there, Ken here. Just thought I'd give a quick update on my health struggles with the pond. As you can see, the pond is looking fairly cloudy here. It's a beautiful day. I don't know about the UK, but Ireland the last week has really been very sunny and clear, and temperatures sort of hitting 15 degrees. So the pond is kind of up to that level. Um, on the last video, you heard I was having problems. Had done a treatment or two treatments of fluke salt plus, um, had little or no effects, did some more scrapes, still had fluke, small number of trichodynia. Um, what I decided to do at that stage was just nothing, was let the fish just rest. There was no point in just banging in more treatment straight away. Um, my main symptoms, besides a bit of flashing, was I had four fish that really struggled: two Tamasaba and two Ginrian tossoid shags. I lost both of the Tamasaba and I lost one of the Ginrian shags. The other one um, was lying on its side for a couple of days, and I was actually scooping it out, thinking it had also perished, but it turned out it was still alive. So I have it on a tank inside, and it's doing fine. Like, slowly brought the water up to 20-22 degrees, and it was like Lazarus. So those fish, definitely the fluke didn't help, but it was really the temperature for some reason. And other people have commented on my previous video saying, yeah, Tamasaba had a similar issue. They just don't seem to tolerate our Western Europe winter temperatures. So, I was kind of reacting as well to those 4 weak fish in the pond. The rest of them, as you can see there, besides a bit of flashing and, fluke, are not unusual this time of year. And, you know, you want to get rid of them. You don't want them to last. But the fish are fine. There's no, ulceration or anything like that, which I've had in the past. So, I have seen it worse. So, anyway, what I did starting last Sunday was I did two treatments of PP, so over 5 days. The first day, a treatment of PP, then did a small water change the following day. Then on day 3, another treatment of PP, and then another water change on the 4th day. And on the 5th day, I did a treatment of Lernex, not Lernex Pro. I found last year it was Lernex when I finally got rid of the fluke I had. So we'll see how I go with this. To date, I did try earlier as well, 1.5 strength flubanol, which I had, did nothing really. Flubanol seems to have shot its bolt in terms of fluke these days. I won't use it again. It's just stressing the fish and it's a waste of time. So anyway, the Lernex is in there. I had to get it from a place in Germany. I couldn't get it locally. There was nobody in the UK. Most of the koi retailers, of all of them, don't ship to Ireland. So cost me €155 shipped for two 800 milliliter tubs, which is expensive. But we'll see how they do. Bit of flashing this morning, but they do look okay. The only fish I noticed maybe struggling a bit was that goldfish there. You can see he seemed to be hanging around the top for the PP treatments. Didn't seem to tolerate it too well, but he looks fine now, so we should be okay. But yeah, just see how it goes. It's been frustrating, and hopefully that's the end of it. The water looks terrible. I won't do anything. I'll just leave it for a week. The water level is down as well because I turned my trickle in down, so it's probably flushing out more water in the drum. I don't want to dilute the medication. The PP treatments, by the way, what they're really designed to do is strip the mucus layer on the fish. I noticed a few of them, particularly, you can see there, my Akumatsuba. He tends to get a white sheen when there's a problem. I always know there's a problem because that guy gets the mucus layer it's very noticeable on him that there's an issue. Um, and it was just to break down the mucus layer and expose the fluke a bit, and hopefully the medication gets at them. But I'll give it a few days. Maybe on Sunday I might do a scrape and just see if anything is happening, because I sort of want to get into it now, get the covers off in a few weeks and move on a few fish if I can. I wanted to do that last year and I had so many problems. I couldn't do that. Otherwise inside everything is fine. I did notice, by the way, I'll just go in, so just talking about my Cactoli monitor, I'll just turn off the pumps here for a second because they make the most noise. I did notice on the Cactoli monitor that when I added the PP, the ARP should go up, and it did. So it went up from around 300 up to 500. But I've heard people say that if you have an ARP meter, when it starts to drop away, you know the PP is becoming less useful. I find with PP, particularly with the covers on, it's very hard to tell whether it's purple or brown or purple going brown. And but the ARP thing, it was very slow. Now, whether it's just the Cactoli or that's the way it is, but it was very slow going back down to the normal. So wasn't particularly useful. It did go up though when I added the PP. Other than that, you probably saw the last one as well. The Fluke Solve Plus made an awful mess. It foamed in the biochamber with the air, and I just had foam everywhere, and the the thing was a mess. Even when I did a water change and diluted the medication after it was done, it took ages for the foam to go. Luckily, the Larenex doesn't do that. I mixed the Larenex in a bucket. It's not that easy the Larenex or Larenex Pro, they're not that easy to mix. What I do is I have an old aquarium filter head that runs, and it does mix, so I just put that in a bit of pond water and add the Larenex slowly, and then what I do is I pour it into my media chamber, the moving bed. That just breaks it up even more. I didn't bypass the drum. I don't think there's any need to. I know some people do for powdered medication. I think if it's mixed well enough, you shouldn't have to do that. But that's it. Yeah, the Cactoli, same issue. I leave it on, it just hangs and gives the same reading, and I have to turn it on and off. Again, a couple of people in the comments commented that they had them and they had a similar problem, so it seems to be a feature with them. I actually have it on this Tapo timer switch that every couple of days it turns it on and off and just resets it and stops it doing that, but you shouldn't have to do that. As I said, interesting concept. I don't think they're particularly well executed, and I personally wouldn't recommend them. I wouldn't be surprised with me if it ends up in a box somewhere unused. At the moment, the temperature and everything else, salinity was pretty good. pH, I haven't got it on there at the minute, but my pH was, there it is. My pH is 8.4 there. I don't believe my pH is 8.4, to be honest. That's fairly erroneous. Temperature at 16.2, it does tend to read a degree higher than my other meter, which is fine. Parts per million, I'd say, is fine. Salinity around 0.06 is about right. I do have another, I don't know how well calibrated this is, but as far as I know it is. Maybe now I'm wrong that this is a Hanometer, that the medication just pushes it up. Usually, yeah, it is. It's on up to 8. Maybe it is 8.2. Maybe the medication just pushes it up. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's 8.4 on the other thing. So 8.4 is one of the highlights, going up to 8.3. So maybe it's right. You know, you're not going to shoot it down for 0.1. It possibly is right. You know, I haven't noticed that before, although I didn't have a pH meter on the pond before when I used Larynx last year. So it's very possible that it just it affects the pH, but as long as it stays, it would have went up pretty slowly and it stays reasonably stable. I don't worry about my pH anyway is usually about 8.1. The tap is about 7.6 to 7.8, and then I think this yoke here, the trickle tower with the crystal bio in it, that does buffer the water, so we'll push the pH up a bit higher. But that's it. Any comments, let me know. I'll let you know how the treatment goes. Hopefully it does it. With the trick, I'm hoping the 2 pp's that were also to reduce the slime coat, maybe got rid of the trick. And not that that was a major issue. I found 2 or 3 trick in several scrapes, so certainly not a manifestation. It's more the fluke I'm concerned about. And again, not, you know, did 4 scrapes, found 3 flukes, so, you know, not absolutely, you know, the fish aren't wiped out with them, but still you want to get rid of them, and certainly don't want them there if I'm moving fish on. So any comments, let me know, and I will update you again. Thanks a lot.